Something feels genuinely different around Rory McIlroy right now. Not louder, not flashier, not desperate, different. And that subtle shift might actually be the most dangerous thing of all for the rest of the golf world. Because for so many years, the entire story built around Rory was constructed on pressure. The burden, the weight, the endless, exhausting questions. Could he ever finish the job? Could he finally win a Masters tournament? Could he somehow silence all the noise that had followed him for nearly 2 decades? And then, against all lingering doubt, he actually did it. He slipped that famous green jacket onto his own shoulders. He completed the career Grand Slam. And he changed the entire shape of his lasting legacy in a single unforgettable week at Augusta National. But now comes a part that nobody saw coming. He is no longer chasing external validation from critics. He is no longer desperately trying to prove that he belongs among the all-time greats. That argument is officially over, which means a version of Rory McIlroy currently standing in the world #1 race might be a version that professional golf has not fully dealt with yet. Calm, free, laser-focused, and maybe even a little bit dangerous. Because when a player with that much natural talent finally loses the suffocating weight of expectation, what exactly is left to stop him? Stay with me here. Because by the end of this video, the real threat that Rory McIlroy poses to the rest of the golf world might end up looking even bigger than you currently think. And before we go any further, a quick but important note. If you truly love the game of golf, if the sport genuinely means something deep to you, and if you enjoy stories like this that go far deeper than just scores and headlines, then please make sure you subscribe to this channel and become a part of this growing golf family. Because golf is not just about who wins a trophy. It is about pressure, legacy, heartbreak, and the unforgettable moments that keep all of us coming back for more. Right now, Rory McIlroy is not the world #1. That top spot still belongs to Scottie Scheffler, with Rory sitting just behind him at #2. And that single fact matters enormously, because this is not a story about a man defending the highest position. This is a story about a man hunting it down. There's a completely different energy in the chase. It sharpens your instincts. It gives every single round a little more tension, every leaderboard a little more meaning. And when the hunter is Rory McIlroy, one of the most naturally gifted players of his entire generation, the entire ranking race changes dramatically. Suddenly, every player standing above him has to feel that heat, because this is not some random hot streak that will fade away. This is Rory McIlroy with genuine freedom, renewed confidence, and clearly unfinished ambition. For so long, Rory's career carried this strange, visible tension. He had the major championships. He had the undeniable talent. He had the charisma, the clubhead speed, the shot-making wizardry, the aura of greatness. But the Masters sat there like a locked door that refused to open. Every single April, golf fans everywhere felt that tension. Even people who did not root for Rory felt it, because the story had become bigger than just one player's career. It was about whether greatness can still break through overwhelming pressure, whether a career can still feel complete after years of heartbreaking near misses and endless second-guessing. Then came that long-awaited breakthrough, the green jacket, the emotional release, the moment that turned years of mounting pressure into one unforgettable, collective exhale. But here's the part that nobody talks about openly. Winning the thing that you have chased your entire life does not always make life simpler. Sometimes it makes life stranger, because when the mountain is finally behind you, you have to figure out who you are without the climb. And that is exactly where Rory's story became even more interesting to follow. According to the latest reporting coming out of Augusta, he has openly talked about a new question that now occupies his mind. What actually motivates him from this point forward? That is not weakness. That is honest self-reflection. In an elite sport where everyone projects confidence, honest reflection could actually be the very first sign of a second evolution in his career. Because think about what made Rory dangerous before. It was hunger, frustration, urgency, the burning need to finally answer the question that had haunted him for years. But what if this next version of Rory McIlroy is built on something even stronger than desperate hunger? What if it is built on peace? That is what keeps jumping out in the latest coverage of his game. Rory looks lighter. He sounds lighter. He has described himself as much more relaxed returning to Augusta as a defending champion. And that might sound simple on the surface, but it changes absolutely everything about how he plays. A relaxed golfer is not automatically a better golfer. but a relaxed golfer with Rory McIlroy's talent ceiling? That is a genuinely terrifying combination for the rest of the tour, especially for everyone standing directly between him and the number one ranking. And this is where everything changed dramatically. 4 years, pressure followed Rory onto the course before he even hit his first shot of the week. The questions were already waiting for him on Tuesday. The narrative was already waiting for him on Thursday. The harsh judgment was already waiting for him on Sunday. But now, the emotional weight has fundamentally shifted. Now the conversation is not can he finally do it. Now the conversation is what does he do next? That is a much more dangerous place for a champion to live, because doubt drains energy, but freedom creates it. And if Rory is now playing from a place of possibility instead of pressure, then the entire world ranking race just got a whole lot more unstable. Now, let us be completely real for a moment. This is not some fairy tale where everyone else just politely steps aside and lets him win. Scottie Scheffler is still the gold standard. The world number one spot is not a popularity contest, and it is not awarded on emotion. It is to be earned over and over again, week after week, tournament after tournament. That is precisely what makes this so compelling. Rory McIlroy is coming after the hardest target in the entire sport, and the field behind him is not soft either. Professional golf is incredibly deep right now, ruthless, crowded, unforgiving, which is exactly why Rory's presence feels so important in this moment. He is not just adding another name to the race. He is adding serious heat to it, legacy to it, electricity to it. Wait until you hear what makes this situation even more interesting. Rory's danger to the rest of the tour is not just in his official ranking position. It is in the way his personal story now connects so deeply with fans. Golf fans know exactly what it looks like when a player is fighting himself on the course. We have all seen Rory in that version before. Tight at times, reactive at times, carrying the weight of the sport home with him after every round. But this newer version feels more human and strangely more complete. He has talked openly about finding genuine enjoyment in the journey itself, realizing that the destination was not the end after all. That kind of mature mindset can keep a great player from burning out early. It can also make him much harder to shake when the inevitable pressure returns in a big moment. And if you are a genuine golf fan, that matters enormously, because the best version of any sport is when greatness is not comfortable. It is challenged, pressed, chased, forced to answer back. Rory chasing the number one ranking again does exactly that to professional golf. It makes every big week feel bigger. Every pairing feels sharper. Every final round feel heavier. If Scottie Scheffler remains the king of the rankings, then Rory McIlroy is a threat that keeps that crown from ever feeling safe. And if someone else enters the mix at the top, they do not just have to beat one giant. They have to survive a race filled with proven winners, emotional momentum, and a fan base that is ready to believe again. But here is another important layer to consider. Sometimes the most dangerous player in professional golf is not the one who wants victory the most. It is the one who no longer needs a game to tell him who he is. That is the real shift that people should be watching carefully with Rory McIlroy. He has already answered the legacy question definitively. He has already lived through the harshest scrutiny imaginable. He has already climbed the specific mountain that once defined his entire career. So now, when he steps into the world number one race, he may actually be freer than the men who are desperately trying to hold him off. That can change decision-making on the course. It can change the natural rhythm of his rounds. It can change how a player handles sudden Sunday tension when everyone else around him starts gripping the club a little tighter. And this is where golf becomes genuinely beautiful, because absolutely nothing is guaranteed. Rory might not get back to number one tomorrow. He might not get back there this month. He might hit an unexpected rough patch, lose his momentum, or watch someone else rise dramatically. That is the honest reality of this brutal sport. Golf does not care about your personal script or your narrative arc. But that is exactly why this moment feels so real and so compelling. We are watching a champion enter a brand new phase of his career, not by force, but by genuine transformation. And those new phases can be incredibly powerful. Sometimes even more powerful than the original rise to stardom. Now imagine the rest of the PGA Tour looking across the driving range and seeing that version of Rory McIlroy. Not the one carrying history like an unbearable weight. The one carrying it like undeniable proof. Not the one trying desperately to escape uncomfortable questions. The one who has already survived them all. That is the kind of player who can slowly start tilting the entire ranking race. One clean week becomes two. One big finish becomes another. One moment of genuine belief becomes a season-long charge. And before anyone fully understands what is happening, the number one race is no longer stable. It is alive, volatile, and dangerous. So yes, the title of this video says that the world number one race just got dangerous for everyone not named Rory McIlroy. And maybe that sounds a little dramatic at first, but the deeper you actually look into the situation, the more it feels undeniably true. Dangerous not because Rory McIlroy is guaranteed to take the throne from Scheffler. Dangerous because he now enters this fight with less fear, less external noise, and maybe more clarity than he has had in many years. Golf has seen what Rory McIlroy looks like when rhythm, confidence, and genuine belief all begin moving in the same direction. It usually means that something special is coming soon. And that is why stories exactly like this matter so much, because golf is never just about dry rankings and statistics. It is about timing, identity, redemption, reinvention. Rory McIlroy may have already completed one of the greatest personal journeys in modern golf history. But the next chapter of his career might end up being even more fascinating to watch, because this time he is not chasing peace. He may have already found it. And if that is truly the case, then the rest of the golf world has every reason to be very, very nervous. So, what do you honestly think? Is Rory McIlroy truly the biggest threat in the world number one race right now? Or is there still one player standing clearly above the rest? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you love golf stories that go far beyond the leaderboard, please stay with this channel. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.